what is it? It's a 3.2 Carrera, 84 model. We started with that. It's a Targa that we originally wanted to do something a little bit different with. The customer came to us originally and said, look, I've seen some pictures on the internet. I've seen this sort of done. I want something somewhere between a 356 Spyder or Speedster and the 550 Spyder, and I want to sort of put a modern touch to one of those. So once we found the donor car, really the next step after that is the fun part. It's the design process. We go through and collate all of the different ideas that we've been spitballing and throwing around, different pictures of the internet. We've actually have our own in-house sketch designer, which does a line drawing of the vehicle. We end up with a front quarter, rear quarter, and an interior view of the car. So we all now have a build plan. It's really important with these projects, as they're such a big thing, that we know where we're going to end up, and we all agree upon that before we travel down the road. We now know exactly all the elements that go into the car, and then we roll into the next stage. So we run off that build plan as far as aesthetics go, and then off the side of that we also have every part that's going to go into that car, and on top of that a full estimate for the full vehicle. So we'll know line by line exactly what that car is going to cost to build. I mean, this one behind us actually ended up coming in $600 under budget. You know, we put a lot of effort into that initial concept and the initial start of the build, and the rest of it then just takes care of itself. So the list of actual modifications to the bodywork in this car is extensive, and we kept finding things that we needed to do along the way. We've modified the original guard and welded in the additional extras so that they can take the long bonnet and the small bumpers. So we ended up around the indicators there, we end up welding a section in. Modifying the bonnet so we could run the centre fill. I mean, a part of body modifications is chopping the roof off. I mean, that's a pretty big thing. I mean, that's part of the reason why we started with a Targa. A Targa factory comes out with additional strengthening of the chassis so it can handle not having a roof. That's why a big part of this is we started with a Targa, not a coupe. The interior really is, it is something special. It was a hybrid of early style mixed up with the modern stuff. But really, it does have that classic feel. So we've gone the original RS door trims with the leather pull straps. We've gone and backdated the actual dash, so you actually modify the dash panel to make it look like an original early car. We refurbed all the gauges, put surrounds around that. We painted the dash behind in body colour. The seats are classic period style seats, just lightweight carpet. Retrimming the dash in leather again, just really taking it back, even going into finding a retro style stereo that's actually MP3 and Bluetooth. The roll hoop, that was a big part. Getting that roll hoop, we could really make or break the aesthetics of the car with that. We ended up finding a Boxster hoop and modifying that extensively to get that to work in there. But it meant that we could run the factory trimming around it, and it just looked factory, you know, like there's nothing in the interior that looks like it's not meant to be there. We ended up custom making a windscreen and the windscreen surround for it. There was a lot of work in that. The testament is we've had this car at a car show recently, at a Cars and Coffee, and everyone kept coming up and asking if this was a real one. Now, to build a replica inspired vehicle and have someone think that it's an original, I mean that really was big for us. We were really happy with that. It was probably about 6 months from start to finish to build this car, which isn't bad considering how much work has gone into it. As I said before, bringing it in under budget after a build this extensive, you know, that's something we're really proud of actually. It's a testament to putting that planning in and constant communication with the client. It is a fun, sporty car to drive, but it's definitely not intended to go anywhere near the racetrack. It's mechanically, it's a standard 3.2 Carrera. We have upgraded some of the suspension, redone all the bushing in the suspension, you know, just really brought the car back up to spec to be a really nice road car, and that's what it's designed to be. It's designed to head away on the weekend, up some beautiful roads. I mean, obviously we're really, really proud of this car. The way this thing has turned out, it almost exceeds our expectations for the car. But not only that, is the customers. He's completely in love with it. For us to even get it back to do a service on it or something like that, we have to pry it out of his garage. And so much so that he's actually already, we're penciling together his next build. He's looking to build another project car with us and do something a little bit different. But you know, I mean, that's what it's about. Giving something to someone that appreciates and enjoys it that much, I mean, you know, that's what we're here for.